via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming special presentation this weekend to celebrate 149th manifestation of Naqshbandi Sheikh Lalaji Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu. A few things are necessary to understand in the beginning. When we celebrate the birth or day of manifestation of the awakened ones, we do not follow the Western calendar. We follow the Indian calendar, the dates. For instance, the birth of Holy Prophet 12 Rabiul Awwal. We do not celebrate according to the Western calendar. Ram's birthday, Ram Navami, in the bright fortnight, the time is divided into two, dark fortnight and bright fortnight. The 9th day of that fortnight is known as Ram Navami, the day when Ram was incarnated. Similar is the case with Lalaji. He was born, as in colloquial language we will say, in the season of spring. Season of spring is at the confluence when winter is disappearing. It is celebration, carnival in the entire environment, atmosphere, to celebrate that a light descended from the unknown regions, from the infinite regions that remained for some time. A book that appeared from the divine library remained for a certain period of time, and those who have read a page or a line or a word of it are lucky before the book went back to the divine library. What I am speaking to you is pages from, not pages because it is not written, it is oral tradition, Lalaji Upanishad. You may want to know those who traditionally follow. Where is this Lalaji Upanishad? This person is talking about Lalaji Upanishad. Yes, it is Lalaji Upanishad. It is oral transmission. One day Buddha came on the Avantapindika. He had a flower in his hand. He remained standing. Every monk, many questions arose in their minds. There was one person, Mahakashyap. There was no question in his mind. Mind was empty. No mind. And then Buddha handed over that flower to him. He said, whatever I have spoken, 40 years I spoke continuously, day in and day out, but truth cannot be put into the words. Cannot be put into words. All that could not be spoken, I have handed over to Mahakashyap. This is Upanishad. Out of that, Zen came into existence. Mahakashyap was that learned sannyasi who met Buddha on the banks of the river, and he asked certain questions. So in the same way, I am speaking to you from the oral tradition which was handed over to me by Naqshbandi Sheikh Brij Mohan Lal when the understanding was not developed. For consciousness, no understanding, no words, no language is necessary. It is there. When it comes in, when it manifests itself, words form. One of the things Lalaji was speaking, the human body is a boat. Human body is a boat. The being is the boatman. And this world is the vast ocean. Body is a boat. Being is the boatman. And the world is ocean. This I can understand. But how the body is a boat? What is the purpose of a boat? To move from one place to another. Without the boat, you cannot cross or reach to the other. Body is the vehicle. Many times I had spoken, the body is a vehicle. Just as if you have to move from one place to another, you need a vehicle. When you have to transform the layers of consciousness, you have to use the body as a vehicle. Human body is a boat. Being is the boatman, and the world around is the vast ocean. Man of awakening sails through. Each one of us has the body, but this body is not a boat. When I say body is a boat, what does it mean? When Lalaji said body is the boat, what does it mean? Means that body is a vehicle. It has to transform from better to best, from one stage to another. At such as your body is, it is not the means but the end. Body is given to you as a means to transform, not as the end, as we all consider and use the body as an end. Body as an end means to enjoy all that can be done through the body. But means to transport, use the vehicle as a means to move from one layer of consciousness to the other. Why do you eat food? You eat food to enjoy, not to live. You are living to eat food. You wear clothes to protect the body. And you go on saving the body to use the clothes. As such, with this, the body appears to be the end, as if there is nothing beyond it. Boat means, boat is now here. The destination, this is the location where the boat is. But boat has the capacity to transcend, to transport you to another destination. Body means that you have to go beyond the body. If body is a boat, means it is a means to take you beyond the body. As such, we live in the body, we live in the mind. For that, you have to sit down in the boat, you have to come out of the boat. Body is ephemeral. Before sitting in the body, before sitting in the boat, the body was a traveler. When it sits down in the boat, it is a traveler. When it comes out of the boat, still it is traveler. Boat alone is not the traveler. You came into the body, came into the boat. Before that, you existed. When you sit down in the boat, you are still there. And the day you come out of the boat, the moment you come out of the boat, you will still be there. Now, using this analogy, before you came into the body, you existed. When you were in the body, you existed, but you were not aware of it. You were not aware when you was not in the body. When you are in the body, you are not aware that you are not the body. You are not the mind. And the day you come out of the body means enter into death. You will not know that. You will still be there. Death is the other shore. Birth is one shore of the river, and death is the other shore of the river. And to move from one shore to the another, you need the boat, and body is the boat. This world around you, the vast world around you, is the ocean. You would have seen when you go to the beach, there are certain beaches where the river merges into the ocean. The confluence of the river and the ocean is a beautiful sight. Have you, when you stand up there, have you introspected what does it mean? This is what Upanishad means. Nothing is written. It was given to you when you did not have the words. You could not even say la la la. You could not fumble a single word, but it was given to you. Then when you look at any particular circumstance and situation, you understand the essence. Human body is the river. You are a river. You are merging into the ocean that always is. River is turbulent along its path. Many times it changes its path, moves around the trees, soars along its path, but it is always destined to merge into the ocean. You may falter many times along the path. You may make many mistakes, but your journey is continuously to merge into the vastness of the ocean. That is why when the river merges into the ocean, that is the sight everybody enjoys and relishes, but does not understand what does it relate, how does it relate to ourselves, to you. The river is merging into the ocean. That is where the birth is one shore, death is another shore. Vast majority does not look at the world as the vast ocean, because your body is not, you have not considered your body as a vehicle. Many times I have mentioned to you that the body is the vehicle. Now as I am speaking through Lalaj, revealing to you Lalaji Upanishad, I am mentioning to you body is the boat. As long as you cannot consider the body as the vehicle, the boat, you will not be able to see this vast world of duality and conflicts, like an ocean that you have to go beyond that. You will remain stuck on this very shore. Death may come, but you will not attain to that bound. Deathless, you will remain death bound. You have not even put your boat into the ocean. What to talk about sailing? Sailing will begin only when the boat anchor is removed and the boat is ready to sail. Only one. Entering into the ocean is like reaching to the other shore. The other shore is beyond birth. To enter into the deathless, it is moving towards, but we are afraid of death. One can only out of one's own free will move towards it. Death means the other shore. Death means the other shore because of fear, because of your ignorance. You keep on holding this shore, the birth. You make every single arrangement that this shore is never, that you never leave this shore. Being in the boat, being a boat itself, you have not yet begun the journey. You have not yet begun the journey. That's why sometimes you say that this world is a vast ocean, Bhavasagar. You are taking the borrowed words of Buddha and Mahavir. It is said there was a businessman around the time of Buddha. He was a very rich businessman, but he never went to Buddha. His daughter-in-law used to go to Buddha and she was following him. One day she told her father-in-law that in this house there is nothing fresh to cook. We eat the leftover foods. So the man said, what does it mean? There are so much of resources, you can buy the things, fresh things, and make every day, every meal fresh. This is what the ignorant mind understands. So she said, I am talking in parable. Whatever you are in this life is the outcome of your yesterday's deeds. Yesterday you earned $1,000, you have today $1,000 to spend. This month you have to pay your taxes, your vehicle insurance, life insurance, the house insurance, loans. So your disposable income is much less. So you have only this much of disposable income to spend. Whatever you are having You do not eat, do not spend what you earn now, you spend it. So you are only living on the ancestral income. What have you earned? Your father has bequeathed you a big, huge sum of money. You are living on that. What you have earned, nothing. So he said, okay. So he started going to Buddha, and then come back from there and started mentioning Buddha said this, Buddha said that, Buddha said that. But what did you understand, Buddha? Everyone about Lalaji is talking about Lalaji said this, Lalaji said that. This is borrowed. Buddha said this. What have you understood? And how are you communicating that to the people? Is the fresh aware knowledge. So when the Upanishad is communed to you, it is not in the form of words. It is not in the form of messages. It is the understanding, it is the awakening that is given to you. When you look at anything, that awakening comes and gives you the insight into it. Many times you would have seen the confluence of river and ocean. You enjoyed, you took the photographs, but have you ever introspected what does it mean to you? What does this confluence of river and ocean mean to me? Is the outcome of that awareness, that Upanishad that was communed to me. And that is what I am communing to you, bringing that to you. You are not taking the words of Buddha and Mahavir and Jesus or Muhammad and repeating them verbatim. Parrot can do better than you. The understanding is important and living by that. You are sitting on the shore and talking about the ocean, how to transcend beyond the ocean. This is what Mahakashyap came to Buddha when he was sitting on the bank of river. He wanted to ask him many questions, but Buddha simply asked a simple thing. He said, Mahakashyap, this is the river. If you have to cross this river to go to the other shore of the river, what do you have to do? He said, I have to watch at the river. If the river is shallow, I can walk through. If I know swimming, I can swim through it. And Buddha said, if it is not, then I'll take a boat and sail through. I'll use my boat to sail through it. He said, if you do not want to do this and you want to sit down on the shore and chant your scriptures, the Hanuman Chalisa, the Psalms, the Surah Fatiha, with that can you reach to the other shore? Mahakashyap had no answer. He bowed down. He put his head on the feet of Buddha. He said, take me as your monk disciple. When a person is of that understanding, immediately he understands the message of the Buddhas. He is not repeating that. All the other monks at that time, They had many questions. They had, what is Buddha doing today? Why have he come with a flower in his hand? Why is he standing? He never did so. What is going on in his mind? What do you want to tell us? What do you want to tell us? Buddha found every monk has questions in their minds. Mahakashyap was silent. There was no Buddha. Looked at him with a tacit smile. Mahakashyap responded it with that smile. Buddha handed over the flower to him. That was the beginning of Zen Buddhism. This is how it is communed. This is what Upanishad is. You may have a small boat, pirog, or shikara as it is called in Kashmir. You have left it fearfully because there was no choice for you. हमने एक नाव जो छोड़ी भी तो डरते डरते I was forced to leave this boat fearfully. इस पे भी चीन बाज़बी हो गया दरिया तेरा. The ocean could not help you. The poet says, a small boat I have removed the anchors in the ocean. A small boat that was anchored at the shore. I opened the anchors for the boat to sail into the ocean, but this ocean get angry. The storms begin from all around. Tides began. Storm from all around. I have left a small boat to sail in the vastness of the ocean out of fear. Nothing big was done. A small boat. That ocean began to get angry. Only that person who will remove the anchor of his boat will come to know about the ocean, the river. Sitting on the shore, on the bank of the river, you know nothing about the river. The river, the ocean, the experience of the river, the experience of the ocean comes only to the boatman. When you become your boatman, you sail your boat into the ocean, then you will come to know about the moods of the ocean. Herman Hesse, in his famous novel Siddhartha, gives a description of the river that flowed on the bank of the village where Siddhartha was living, and he uses the word rivering. Siddhartha used to, whenever he was saddened, He will come on the shore of the river and talk to the river, and there used to be a communion between the river and Siddhartha. Herman says so. You would have read it. A communion between the ocean. Ocean is the vastness, the infinite, the existence, and Siddhartha have surrendered himself to the existence, comes on the bank of the river, and the communion starts. He starts feeling that river is rivering, and the various modes of the river is trying to understand. Only the boatman understands. The moment you sitting, his communion is there. When he puts his boat into the river to sail, you become a boatman, a sailor. Only then you will understand the various moods of the river. One who has put his small boat, pirogue or shikara into the vast ocean, whatever be the size of the boat, manual or powered, only then you will understand the various moods of the ocean. The ocean is vast. You are afraid because of the vicissitudes, the turmoil, the various moods of the river, the high tides, the low tides, the storm. You are afraid of this, so you do not want to sail. You want to remain sitting on the shore. क्या हो हासिल उनके जिक्र से जो पीकर मस्त हुए हैं. Umar Khayyam says this rubai. What shall you gain, O fool, by talking about those who are drunk and gone, who have opened the anchors, removed the anchors and allowed the boat to sail in the vastness of the ocean? By talking about those, what will you gain? क्या हो हासिल उनके जिक्र से जो पीकर मस्त हुए हैं. Talking about Buddha, talking about Krishna, talking about Ram, talking about Muhammad, Jesus, what would you gain? What have you learned from their examples, from their lives? If I ever get a chance to speak the various aspects of the life of Ram, why he is called Maryada Purushottam. Maryada means understood the boundaries, the limitations, the obligations of each role. You have a role as a husband, you have a role as a father, you have a role as a child, you have a role as an employee, as an employer, as a driver on the road, as a friend, as a brother. Each role has a different definition, has to be performed with a different understanding. You understand the limitations, the boundaries, the obligations of each role that you have to perform. And only such a person is known as the best. Purush means man, Uttam means best among the men, who understands various obligations, various limitations, various expectations of a particular role. Your role as an employee, your obligation as an employee differs from the obligation, your role as a husband, as a father, as a brother are different. One who has left allowed his boat to sail irrespective of the storms, the vicissitudes, the waves, the tides in the ocean. He is in search of a shore about which he knows nothing, that is not yet visible to him, is fearless. He had sailed his boat amidst the storms in search of the other shore. That is what the boat does. Puts itself into the journey in search of the other shore. That is why we do not call this world, this vast world around us, a river. We call it a storm. We call it ocean. In case of river, the other shore is visible. But when you talk about the ocean, the other shore is not visible to you. Even with binocular, the other shore is not visible. But it is that one thing is certain. That is the reason we cannot envision our own death. In life, there is nothing more certain than death. All the rest is uncertain. That which is certain is death. The body is death bound. Understand the body as the boat, and there is a boatman in the river, in the boat, and you are the boatman. You are the boatman. You are the boat. You have to leave your boat into the vastness of the ocean where you cannot see the other shore. As far as your vision can go, you cannot see the other shore. This is in celebration of 149th manifestation of the light that descended from the infinite range, a book that descended from the divine library for us and was available to us for a certain period of time. In commemoration, in celebration of that, I am speaking to you from Lalaji Upanishad. Tomorrow I'll take another one, a question, how to live our life that there is no mistakes, how to live a life without committing any mistake. And this weekend, Saturday is today, tomorrow Sunday and Monday, I'll continue to speak. There is so much. If you are connected through the consciousness, you don't need the words. Teach me that knowing which everything becomes known. Don't give me explanation of this and that and so. Give me that principle knowing which everything becomes known to us. Consciousness is that principle knowing that everything becomes known to you. Consciousness, awareness is that principle knowing which everything becomes known to you. This is Upanishad. Upanishad is that principle, that consciousness knowing which everything becomes known to you. Crystal clear. Whatever you take, you can explain to it. You can go to the very core of it. That is what Upanishad is. That is what Lalaji Upanishad is. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow for another page from the Lalaji Upanishad. Take care and do have a pleasant day.